Good morning. This is Mary. It's time for a Thursday high five. I was going to go outside and record, but all of a sudden it's wet outside again. And I'd like to see some of you that are in some dry places get some of this wet. But we are enjoying the green grass. You know, I want to finish what I was talking about yesterday about really focusing and praying on your cluster, praying on those people you're connected to naturally and spiritually. And several people have asked me questions. Do they have to be saved? No, they don't have to be saved. In fact, it's best if you pray for people that aren't saved. You know, a lot of people that are saved, that are born again, they're under a lot of spiritual attacks. But as you pray for people that are not saved, you're asking for the blood of Jesus to wash over and cleanse. I pray for that. It'll cleanse their eyes, that they can see clearly, that they can see the things that God is doing, that they can hear what the Spirit is saying to the church. I ask that they would wash their feet, that where they walk is in the Lord's path, and their hands, that whatever they touch or put their hands to will prosper, that their hands will do the work of the ministry. And I pray that their heart would be so softened that it would be open to God. But one thing we're doing for our cluster is we are praying for protection. So let's look at two examples in the Old Testament. In the book of Exodus, one person put the blood of the lamb on the doorpost. Then they walked into the door, and they were, every single person was protected in that house. Now, if that house, there had to have been rebellious teenagers. There's always rebellious teenagers. There had to have been marriage problems. They didn't know God. We find out in the wilderness that they were very rebellious people, that they did not believe God. And so, but the blood protected them. One person put the blood on the doorpost, and it protected everyone in that household. So let's go to the book of Joshua now. In the book of Joshua, Rahab the harlot, and the Bible continually calls her the harlot to let us know that she was, what her profession was, and that she wasn't a godly woman, but she believed God. She believed in the God, and enough that when she asked for her family to be protected, and they said, if you put this cord, and it was the scarlet cord, out your window, she couldn't put the blood of the lamb out the window. She had to put a symbol of it. And so if you put this scarlet cord hanging out your window, your entire family would be protected. She was the only ungodly person, and she was a harlot, but she believed in God, which made her different than the others. And this person, one righteous person, protected her whole ungodly family. Every single one of them was an unbeliever, but they believed her. Somehow they believed that they would be protected in her whole house. So let's say it's her mother and father, her brothers and her sisters, her nieces and her nephews, maybe her grandparents. She had them all packed into that brothel that was on the wall of Jericho. And when Jericho fell, everyone in the city was destroyed except her household. That one harlot protected her whole ungodly family. Now, none of them have ever been mentioned again. And it doesn't mean that they're protected in the time of judgment, that they're going to be saved and go to heaven. That is an individual choice that they have to make on their own. But when there's judgment on the land, Isaiah 65:8 says, when the new wine is found in the cluster, now cluster means a judgment that is not just one person, it is for all. Harvest is judgment is a harvest word. And you judge between an apple that has worms in it and an apple that doesn't. You're judging between one or another. It is a harvest word. And When their new wine is found in a cluster, and one says, do not destroy it, for a blessing is in it, so I will do for my servant's sake, that I may not destroy them all. And that is what we're talking about, standing in the gap for all those you're connected to naturally and spiritually. And so that's what we're talking about. So begin to call out their names, take communion, call out their names that stand in the gap. God bless you. Bye-bye.